You went to Stockholm this week to meet with Sweden's Minister for International Development, Benjamin Dousa, and the head of biståndsmyndigheten Sida. What did you discuss there?
Well, so I go to meet with a lot of people, and I'm very, very happy that Dousa had time to meet with me. I meet with a lot of politicians, and the message that I always have to them is, look, there's limited resources, spend the money, spend each krona really, really well. And Dousa has, really put himself in the hot seat in that way, because he said, I want to prioritize. I want to realize, we can't do everything. We can't just spend all money on all good things in the world. I want to focus. And so I really want to tell him is, well, we work with a lot of the world's top economists to identify some of the very, very best things that you can spend money on. And I would love to, get you interested in some of these things.
And was he?
Well, yes, he was definitely interested in hearing about it. We'll see whether any money actually flows. But the reality is that there's so many things you can do in the world. Some of them have incredible impact. Most of them are just sort of, okay, good. And then some of them are actually really bad ways of spending money. And so what we try to do, we use a tool called cost-benefit analysis, which is really very simple. It's what you always do when you do your own sort of calculations, right? You recognize that there are costs. You also recognize there are lots of benefits, not just monetary benefits, but also, social benefits and environmental benefits and many, many other things. And if we do this right, and of course, economists have spent a long time trying to do that, you can sort of find out, oh, this is going to cost 400 million kroners, but it's going to make, this much benefit if you measure all of it in kroners. So for every krona spent, maybe you'll do 2 kronas of good. Wonderful. Maybe you'll do 20 kronas of good. Amazing. Or maybe you'll only do 20 euro of good, and then that's pretty stupid, right? Doing that can make it very much easier to have a conversation about, of all the things we could do, why don't we focus on the really good ones first? So, I told him about maternal and newborn health. I told him about vaccinations, so immunization for small kids. All the
things you mentioned in your the latest book you wrote. We're going to speak about that book later as well. I'm just wondering, did you discuss what's happening in the U.S. and the shutdown of the USAID, the aid agency in the U.S. as well? That's a big issue in this world.
Very briefly. I mean, neither Minister Dousa or I live in the U.S. We can't change what the U.S. is doing, but very clearly it has huge impact. So one of the things that we know the U.S. has done for more than 20 years, it started with Bush Jr., that they have spent a lot of money basically on tackling HIV/AIDS in sub-Saharan Africa. And this has literally saved possibly 20 million lives or more. People who are now with us who wouldn't have been here had they not gotten access to cheap medication that has saved pretty much everyone from HIV in Sweden, but could save a lot more people in Africa. And now, of course, this is threatened because the USAID shut down very abruptly, and there's lots of medicine, but they can't be distributed, they can't get out to the people, and there's a real risk a lot of people are going to die. That's obviously a problem. It's not clear that anyone can do anything about this in the short term. If you need the medicine next week, sure, we could, travel down and give it to some people, but we need to get it to millions of people. That's not very clear how you do. But it's an obvious challenge for Europe and for the world in the longer run. And this is one of the many things that we need to take up and say, how do we best fix this?
Hej, Staffan Dopping här, poddredaktör på Kvartal. Tack för att du tittade. Om du gillade det här klippet så klicka på gilla-knappen och skriv gärna en kommentar. Vi är nyfikna på vad du tycker. Och prenumerera också på vår kanal så missar du inte när det kommer fler klipp. Visste du att Kvartal inte bara finns på YouTube? Vi publicerar också fördjupande poddar och texter om vår tids mest brännande frågor. Lyssna och läs på kvartal.se. Men glöm aldrig, tänk själv.